Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Attila, and in this video, I'm going to provide a quick introduction to pgvector. What is pgvector? Why should you use it? Why should you not use it? That sort of thing. So let's get started. pgvector is a PostgreSQL extension that allows you to store vector embeddings in Postgres. It's an open source extension. It actually has the same license as Postgres. You can find the code on GitHub. You can install the extension in your self-hosted Postgres instances. You can also install it on a lot of cloud solutions, like for example, RDS does support pgvector, Cloud SQL also supports pgvector, and a lot of other vendors support this extension. Besides being able to store the vector embeddings, you can also perform different similarity searches on your vectors. So for example, you can use the cosine distance similarity function to find similar vectors in your table. All right, so that's what pgvector is in short. Now let's quickly cover why you would want to consider using pgvector as opposed to other vector database solutions. So one thing that I would highlight is that pgvector probably has most features that you would ever need for simple vector use cases like reg applications or semantic caching or some other vector use case. It has different ways to index your data, and it also has different similarity search methods implemented. Then the next important aspect is that I mentioned this already, it's open source. It actually has the same license as Postgres, which is great because it allows you to use it for commercial purposes, but it also allows cloud providers to include the pgvector extension in their library. So for example, AWS, Google Cloud, and all the other Postgres providers, so they can provide it as part of their offering, which means that you as a user is also able to just use this extension paying extra. So that's a huge benefit. And then there's a big list of benefits because of the fact that pgvector is based on Postgres. It's you get SQL as your query language. You don't have to learn a new esoteric vector-based query language. You can manage your vector data alongside your other data points, which can be really useful. You can easily do joins, and you also don't need to manage multiple databases for multiple workloads. So you can store your transactional data, maybe some of your analytical workloads, and your vector data together in one database, which can be really useful. So in general, a lot of benefits come from the fact that pgvector is just an extension. And when I say just an extension, it's not like a negative thing. It's actually a huge positive. It's a huge benefit. It's a positive thing that it's just an extension. And it's not like a huge, other custom Postgres-like solution. No, it's just an extension. It is Postgres, and I think that's great. So when should you not use pgvector? So first of all, obviously, if you're not using Postgres, like you are using, I don't know, MySQL, MongoDB, or some other database is your like main database, or that's what you're good at, that's what the team is skilled in, then pgvector is not very relevant because it's based on Postgres. The other item that I mentioned here is that if you have some special requirement and so you know for sure that Postgres will not work, or you don't want to make Postgres work. So for example, maybe you have very specific and strict latency requirements, or performance, or high availability, or just in general, anything about scaling, and you know that Postgres might be able to achieve that, but it would be a lot of work, and there are other databases that can provide the kind of scalability that you need. It just makes more sense to use other databases for that. The other use case would be if you need some special indexing, like some very special vector indexing, or hybrid indexing methods are not available in pgvector, and they are available in other specialized vector databases. So if you need one of those special indexing methods, then you might want to use a vector database, not pgvector. All right, so that's it. I didn't want to make this video too long. In the next video, we are actually going to start playing with pgvector and get our hands dirty. So see you in the next one. Bye.